this video, we're going to be going over the hymn Leaning on the Everlasting Arm in the key of C. So if you don't know the number system, let me go over the scale real quick. So we're in C. So C is the 1, D is the 2, E is the 3, F is the 4, G is the 5, A is the 6, B is the 7, C is the 1. Okay? All right, so it's a pretty simple song. So the first chord is regular C. So C in the bass, G, C, and E. So the melody line is up top, of course. So what a fellowship. All right. So we go to the E in the bass. So G, B flat, E. The E goes down to C, to the D, to the C, E, D, C. All right. So all right. Then we go to the 4. All right, so that's F in the bass. F, A, D. Goes to the E. Joy divine. All right, so that's G flat in the bass. E flat, G flat, A. It starts at the D. So D, C, A, C. Joy divine. All right, then the next chord. G in the bass. C, E, G. Or actually lean, because they want to keep the melody line. You could do that, but want to stay in tune with the melody, right? So A flat in the bass, D, F, A flat, C. Leaning on. So A in the bass, D, E, G, C. So B, C. All right. So we're leading in. So C, B, C, D, then the chord. D in the bass, G flat, A, C, E. Resting on. Right? So that's G in the bass, G, A, B, D. All right, so here's what we've done so far. All right, so on the 2 and the 5, we did something. We did this. All right, or let me show you that too. So that's F, A, B, and D. You could do it that way too, over the 5, which is G. All right, so over the 2F and the 5, you can do a little lick to go into it. Right, so that's A flat, G, F, F sharp. Or okay, so what was that? F sharp and D, F and C sharp, E and C, G flat and C in the left, G flat, A, C, E, F and B in the left, F, A, B, and D. All right. Also with that, you could, classic thing to do. So on that first chord, you could just roll the E, D, C, E, and then the chord. C, E, D, C, E, D. See? Or you could just do it without the tritone. Or now, if you wanted to keep the tritones going, and walk it back up to the 1, you can do it like this. All right, so what was that? So C sharp and D in the left, C sharp, F sharp, A, D and A flat in the left, D, G and B flat, E flat and A in the left, E flat, A flat and B, E and B flat in the left, E, A and C. Here's the bass line for that. A, B flat, B and C. You can also add the bass line with those tritones in chord, right? So. All right. So after that, it goes back into the verse. All right. But it's all the same, but at the end, it goes a little bit different because it goes that leaning on the everlasting arm and then goes into the leaning, right? So, okay, so. All right, so that last leaning would be, you know this part. On. So I don't know if I showed you that, so let's show you anyway. A in the bass, D, E, G, C, on the ever. All right, so A flat in the bass, D, F, A flat, C, C goes to D. And then, so G in the bass, G, C, E, G, B, D, with still G in the bass. All right, and C in the bass, D, E, G, and C. All right, and you can also do something like this if you want to. All right, so that's C and B flat in the left, G and C. C, A in the left, G flat and C in the right. C, A flat in the left, F and C in the right. G and C in the left, E and C in the right. All right, so we're going into the next part, the leaning. All right, so we could do something like this. So it's off of the 5. You could just hit it real quick, the G, and then you could do something like this. So if you have a sustain pedal, you hold the sustain pedal a little bit. All right, so what's that? So that's C, E, F, A in the left, C, E, A, B, E, F, A in the left, B, D, G. For an even more of a heavy effect, you could do G, D, and G. Hit the G, hit those 3. All right, and then we're going into that leaning part. Another way you can go into that leaning part, right? You can do it like this. All right, that's a little thing you throw in there. Not often, but you can throw it in there like once or twice. All right, so that's G, F in the left, E flat, G, B flat, still G and F in the left, C sharp, F and A flat, and then you do a little melody line there. G, F. So we go back to that chord. So that's C, back to the 1, C in the bass, G, C, E, leaning. All right, so E, D, then the chord, so E in the bass, E, G, B flat, C. Right, so F in the bass, F, A, D to C. So G flat in the bass, E flat, G flat, A to C. Then you could do if you want to. So B in the A while holding down the E flat. All right, so that's G in the bass, C, C, D with the thumb, E, G. Same stuff we already done. A flat in the bass, D, F, A flat, C, and secure, right? A in the bass, D, E, D, E, G, C. Right? Same thing we've already done. So D in the bass, G flat, A, C, E, or you could do that too. Or the old school way, right? Right? So you could walk that down. So G, A, B, D to G flat, A, B, D, F, A, B, D. And then back to same thing. All right, so here you can do something a little bit different with that. So we're going to go to the flat 5, 7, and 3. Okay, so it would go like this. All right, so what was that? All right, so I just put some rhythm in the left hand a little bit. So I just did like a. All right, so C, G, A, G, C, E, F. Okay, so here I just played the words kind of. So G, C, E. Or. That's what I did. Okay, so the F, A, and D. So by the time you hit the A in the bass, you're gonna hit the F, A, D. Then back to the 1. So C in the bass, E, G, and C. Right, and E in the bass, E, G, B flat, C. We know that. And then I did a. All right, so that's C and A, B and A flat, B flat and G. And then, right, so F, A, D to C, F in the bass, and then I did or. So that's G flat, E in the left, C, E, G flat, A. So we take the A to the C. All right, and so that's B, E in the left, C, E flat, G flat, B to A. Because we're doing like a line. Right? So that's the intention. Right? Well. All right, so E and D in the left, B, D, E, and G. All right, so C in the bass, E flat, G flat, A, C. B in the left, D, F, A flat, B. A in the bass, C and D with the thumb, E, G, B. All right, classic. All right, so B flat in the bass, A flat, C, D, G. A flat in the bass, A flat, C, D, F. G in the bass, G, C, E. G in the bass, G, B, and D. And then, all right, so C, G, C, D, E, G, C. We know All right, so what was that? All right, so I did. All right, so that's G in the bass, D, E, G, and C. All right, so A flat in the bass, D, F, A flat, C. And then we old classic run up, right? So D in the bass, F, A flat, C, D. E in the bass, G, B flat, D flat, E. F in the bass, A flat, C, D, F. D in the bass, C, D, F, A. G in the bass, C, D, E, and G. And then I did a little blues lick. All right. All right, so the blues lick is this. So that's E and G, F and A, E and G, and then C and G. Right, and then F and C, E flat and C, E and C. All right, so it would be, it's real fast. All right, so it's the bases A, D, G, C. All right, so. All right, one more time. So that's A in the bass, E and G, to F to A, and then D in the bass, E and G, C, G, right? And then G in the bass, F and C, E flat and C, and C in the bass, E and C. And to in that phrase, let me show you what you would do, okay? Because there's something else you could add to it. All right, so remember to add that. You could add that, right? So the G and the F, E flat, G and B, C sharp, F and A. You can also throw this in there to go back to the one. All right, so E flat, A, we're gonna do an octave, G, A, then C on the right, and then E and B flat on the left. Also on that part, leaning, you could do something like this. Right. And then you could do all that too, that I showed you before. Right? So that's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 1, 4. So 5, 1, 4. Right. All right, so all right, so that's F, A, B flat, D, F, A, E, and that goes down to the D. Then we're going to switch the chord. All right, so that's E, A, B flat, D, E, G, and C. And then you can throw that in there too. So that's F sharp in the bass, E, A flat, B flat, E, A flat, B flat, C sharp. Right. So on the F in the bass, E flat, G, A, E flat, G, A, C, or D to C, and then back to that. All right, this is outside the melody a little bit, but when you're on that, you can just, and then, I already showed you that part. So, all right, so that's G flat in the bass, A, E, A flat, B, B, A, E flat, G, and B. Right. So that's E and D, G, B, D, G flat, and A.